Welcome to another episode. Okay, let's start this way. Welcome to the Quip Corner with Ada. And this is an episode of the Quip Corner's Book Corner. And yes, it is part of the World Book and Copyright Day celebration. That's what we're doing in the month of April, celebrating some amazing authors. My guest has been here before, and he reminded me of something. Okay, I will tell you about what he reminded me about later because you'll hear it during the video. But please join us and learn more about this book and my author. See you in a bit. Welcome back to the Quip Corner's Book Corner, Rick.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Just before we started, you mentioned that, you reminded me that I was your first podcast and you've done a few more after that.
Yes.
So tell me, how has that been for you?
Oh, it's been a learning experience. That's
Uh-huh.
very true. So some of them have been smooth and others not so smooth.
Okay. So what did
But,
you learn from the ones that were smooth?
um, it was about having my thoughts in order,
Mm.
really. And some of the questions were ones that you really had to think about. And then sometimes my mouth and my brain didn't necessarily connect very well.
That has been known to happen. It has happened to me so many times that I'm like, well, that's
Yeah.
just what today brings. You roll with it.
Yes.
Good, good, good. Okay. So tell us some more about your book and the adventures you've had with it since the first time we spoke, please.
So, um, my book is Art, the Church's Response. I
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it because a friend told me I should write a book on art for Christians, and so you know, I did. And so some of what's in it is that, um, well, I look at a biblical view of
Mm-hmm.
of creativity, of creating, and its results, which are our works.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that it says in Genesis, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth in
Mm-hmm.
Genesis 1 1. That's the first revelation of that God gave us of who he is as
Yes.
creator. And then, a few verses later, it says, God said, let us make man in our own image,
Mm-hmm.
male and female. And part of that image, as we saw in verse 1, is that we are also creators as God
Yeah.
is creator.
Yes.
And that's a big revelation for a lot of people.
Mm.
Society has really been geared to discount people creativity. It's only the special people that are creative. It's not you. It,
Mm.
and there's biological development that kind of reinforces that lie. Um, as a child is maturing, kind of between ages 8 to 10, their
Yeah,
brain is their brain is now starting to mature and develop from concrete thinking, this is this, to
yeah,
abstract thinking, this is that.
yeah.
And how that's been discovered is primarily through children's drawings.
Okay.
And so at in this development stage, children are now looking outside of themselves from the inner language that they have and they depict into um, observable, more objective reality. So they want to draw
Okay.
knickknacks to make it look like that knickknack.
Yeah, yeah.
And so their drawings, they want to look like what they're observing. And if they can't do that, they get frustrated. And over time, um, this frustration really grows until it reaches a saturation point. And that's where they say, I can't do this. I hate it. And so
Hmm.
for some children, they're also learning like dance or music in at, as children progress, they're doing all these different things together.
Yes.
And so when they give up drawing and this whole area of visual art that goes along with it, then they may devote all their creative energy to these other outlets.
Yeah.
And but then there's some that um, don't do that, and so they um, quit creativity altogether. In So that's where you say, or you hear them say, I hate art, I hate drawing.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so as adults, they'll say, I can't even draw a stick figure, or I can't even draw a straight line.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
it all stems back to what I call this quitting stage
Mm-hmm.
in this development. And so that is so they live with this lie that they're not creative.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's one of the hardest things to overcome.
yeah, yeah. And as you were talking, it then just occurred to me, and I have a few questions for you. Um, it almost seems, from what you're saying, that we are inadvertently creating molds and saying, if you can't draw it like this, therefore you are not creative.
Yes. And then, the enemy will reinforce that lie in our minds, where um, at each failure point, or
Yeah,
for children, then, where they say, I can't do it, the enemy will say in their minds, yes, you can't do it. Everyone else can, but not you.
yeah, yeah.
Until they finally reach that saturation point.
Wow.
And so, and so, and one of the things that really brought this home to me was um, every artist I know experiences the same scenario,
Hmm.
and that is when they introduce themselves to someone new, and they say I'm an artist. There's an involuntary response from the person they're meeting, saying, "Oh, I'm not creative, or I can't even draw a straight line,
Yeah.
or I can't even draw a stick figure."
Mm-hmm.
The you know the artist is not asking for this information. It's an
Yeah.
involuntary response. They feel like they must say this.
Explain why they too are not artists.
And I really see it stems back to when God put this image of creativity into us as part of
Mm-hmm.
his image. It's part of who he is as a
Yeah.
creator.
Yeah.
We all feel that we must be creative in like in way down deep inside of us. And so this involuntary response really showed me how important this aspect of God's image in us is.
Hmm. So how do we, because creativity shows up in different
Yes,
forms.
right.
And if I think of school, usually if they say, okay, everybody draw a banana as an example, and
Hmm.
somebody ends up drawing an orange, you haven't met the expectation, right?
Well,
So
school is
how do you
about
balance that
conformity.
out?
Well, all school is geared is to make you conform.
Yes, true.
I mean, that's what testing is. You have to have all the same answers. There's only one right answer.
Mm-hmm.
And and if you get the wrong answer, then you're wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
But creativity is about discovering there's many right answers to a problem. So one of the um, I've used this when I taught um, um, in high school, and it, this was a problem that I had when I was in art school,
Yeah,
and that was you had to come up with 100 different solutions for this problem that we were
yeah,
trying to do. It was a graphic design class, and so the class that I took, then it was we had to. So like we were having this product for this pretend company,
mm-hmm.
and so we had to come up with 100 different visual designs to advertise this product.
Yeah,
So that so in that, it's not about getting everything just perfect, but you are now trying to discover what is going to communicate this idea as clearly as possible. And in that amount um, of work that you're doing, there'll be some things that are successful, some things aren't.
mm-hmm.
And uh, we displayed it all together.
Yeah,
I mean, the whole 100 you know things were all displayed together.
yeah,
And so that problem itself is not about what you got right. It's about discovering what
mm-hmm.
really works and what doesn't. And
Mm-hmm.
so when I taught, I used that problem as well. And um, it's interesting. The students really changed their mind about things because it wasn't about discovering what's perfect,
Yeah.
but what's going to communicate.
What's possible? Hmm. Hmm. I like that because the next question I was going to ask is how do people overcome this desire to be perfect? But I think you just gave the answer about it's about discovering what's possible.
Well, also, I think that question, when I taught adults
Mm-hmm.
drawing, um, the, the very first adult I taught to draw was a family friend.
Mm-hmm.
She had always wanted to draw and just um, had all these barriers in her thinking about it. And so I said, let's just do a 6 week drawing class.
Okay.
It was like an hour and a half,
Mm-hmm.
not there for very long, but enough to be able to accomplish something. And um, the drawing itself was drawing from observation. I put the very first class, I put a white ball on table with a white sheet of paper underneath. I turned
Mm-hmm.
out all the lights, shut all the windows, or I mean, so nothing came through. And I
Yeah.
put one light shining at a 45-degree-ish angle at it. And I showed her the first class how, um, how to see the shadows that the light is creating. So
Okay.
this is really you're not just drawing a ball, you're discovering how light interacts with an object,
Mm.
how it hits, how it bounces,
Yeah, yeah.
how it bends. And then other classes I added objects or I put a bone on there that I had, and it's just this learning to see was the main thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Learning to see.
Now during this 6 week class, it extended to over 6 months.
What?
So there were um, different things that came up
Uh-huh.
with her. there was sickness, there was um, just a lot of things came up, and she was telling me, "Oh, I should quit this. It's not going to work." I said, "No, I'm not going to let you quit."
Nice.
I knew that if she quit, it would reinforce that lie that she's not creative, and I made her to finish it. You can only
Nice.
do that with a family friend. You can make
Of
them do something.
course, of course. Who's willing? Yeah, but good on you. Good on you for staying the course.
And so, but I discovered a lot, with that, just
Mm-hmm.
how much that fear is one that she had, that she was um, tentatively stepping out in,
Yeah.
will try to pull her back because it's fear.
Yes.
And I help her overcome that fear, and now she um, does not have any intimidation with
Nice.
any aspect of trying to attempt anything.
That's beautiful. And, once again, good on you on creating that safe space for her.
Yes.
Saying, yes, life happens, but you need to stay the course with this one.
Well, that's true. The most dramatic incident that I saw where fear really kind of crippled somebody
Mm-hmm.
was I was draw I did this drawing class in a church, and
Mm-hmm.
I did the same setup with drawing a white ball on a table for the first class. And so this husband and wife came in um, to do it, and you know, so I have the table in the middle of the room, and there's tables, kind of going around it. And so you're not more than like 6 feet away from the object. It, you're not very far at all. And during the course of this class, the woman eyesight began to get less and less. And by the end of the class, her husband had to help her out to the car because she couldn't see.
Oh, wow.
I would, during the class, I would point to a spot on the ball that I saw she was having trouble with. I said, "Can you see this?" She said, "No, I can't." After she decided that she was going to quit the class, her eyesight returned just immediately.
What?
That was the very most dramatic thing where fear just crippled somebody. It was all psychosomatic, but that fear is really tough sometimes.
Yeah.
And so it takes courage to be able to face that,
Mm-hmm.
especially when all of society is telling you and you believe yourself that you are not creative. It
Yeah,
takes a tremendous amount of courage
it
to step
does.
out and say, "I'm going to learn how to do this."
Yeah. Yeah. So self-talk is a key thing.
Yes.
Self-talk is a key thing there too.
But
Wow.
but
Wow.
also as Christians, then it's understanding that God put this in me.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to be a responsible steward to the creativity God put in me, I have to use it.
Yes.
But the
Wow.
enemy just hates God so much, he wants to destroy that image that
Mm-hmm.
is on us and in us.
Hmm. Well, I'm glad because you already answered one other question I had. I was going to ask, I mean, you've gone good. You're really, really good with this now. I was going to ask if you offer art classes and, if someone wanted to book you for an art class, in person or virtually, what do you offer?
Right now, I haven't been doing any classes, mainly having to do with my schedule.
Okay.
I'd be happy to advise and consult if someone wants to do that. We could always talk about, which I haven't done this before, um, like an online type of class.
Uh-huh.
So, I would be open to things like that, if or helping someone set
Yeah.
up in their area,
Yeah.
or maybe connecting. If I
Okay.
know the area, then I can maybe help them connect.
Okay. Well, I just planted a seed. Who knows
Yeah,
what that will
yeah,
blossom into?
right.
Uh, yeah, so how can people get copies of your book?
So you can get my book on Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I'm just starting to set up my author's page, and
Okay.
I'll and that is the Lanyap Life um, website,
Okay.
and um, so you can discover a little bit more about me by going
Mm-hmm.
onto there. Um,
Okay.
and I've started to write articles on Substack that I'll um, more about the nature of creativity itself.
Okay.
And so um, I look at what about creating different aspects of creating from
Mm-hmm.
both the maker's point of view and then the audience's point of view.
Nice. Okay.
And some of that's in my book as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good to know. So, if you could please send me links so that
Yes,
people know how to contact you. I mean,
yes,
I'm
I will.
sure a lot of people know how to go to Amazon, but if people want to contact you, to just run ideas by you or possibly even
Yes,
engage you in an art class or something, because like we just said, you can actually deliver an art class virtually.
yes,
You can always tell the organization what they need to set up, and then you, shall I say,
right.
zoom in.
Yeah, though in person, um,
Yes.
for learning a skill like that is always a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I agree, but our world has changed so much, and we've learned that we can, you know, have hybrids too. But once again, if
True.
you can send me information on how people can contact you, that
Yes,
way, if people need you in person, then they know where to reach you, and if it needs to be virtual, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, I will.
Nice, nice. Thanks again, though, for accepting the invitation to join me in the Quip Corners Book Corner.
Oh, I enjoyed speaking with you so much.
You're so kind. Thank you. Well, you take care.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye now.
Bye.
Hmm. The lies the devil plants in our hearts. Rick was right. We need to put away those lies and express fully all that God has put in us. Yeah, I said I was going to tell you something. He reminded me that I was the first person he had a podcast with, talking about his book. And yes, I'll put a link to that first interview, here. But it's nice to see how we all grew over time. Definitely for me, it's a privilege to be reminded that I was the first person who, caused an author to step into this space of talking about their books. Definitely give all the glory to God. So please keep watching the other videos and comment on them. And as usual, you'll see information on how you can get copies of this book and even contact Rick if you want to have an art class in your environment. Okie dokie. You take care and God bless you. Bye now.